All right, hello everyone. I am recording this for those that could not make it to the training session, and I'll send this out to you as soon as I get it. Before we get started, just to do a couple things, you probably want to click the link at the bottom of the YouTube video, and that's the shareable link for this Google Slides. So you may want to open it up, and then so you can have two different screens going at the same time. You can see my slides here, and you can open up a Google Slides. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to create a Google Slides presentation. There's a lot of different ways you can do this. I'm probably doing it the longer way, but I'll make a new blank Google Slides presentation so I can kind of step through and do all of this with you as you are doing it. So I'm going to make two sides here. So before we move on, just a couple things that we're going to be doing today. We're going to look at ways to do speaker notes and asking questions from an audience. We're going to do some simple things like inserting pictures. We're going to upload different types of media, insert GIFs, and linking text boxes, images, and other possible uses. So first, if you haven't already, go ahead and create a new Google Slides presentation. And while you're doing that, I'm going to show you a couple neat things with Google Slides in present mode. So if you press present mode, just a couple things that people don't know about is you can click the pointer button and use basically a laser as your pointer. You can also do a notes version. That way you can see your speaker notes over here. This is useful if you're projecting your screen onto a smartboard or a projector. You can do it this way, and what you would do if you have a Mac, you would go to System Preferences. Let that load. You'll go to Display, and when it's actually plugged into a smartboard, you're going to have arrangement, and you can mirror, and you'll unclick the mirroring when that's possible. So you could drag this to a different screen. If you need help doing that, you can let me know or make comments, and I can try and help you do that. But you have this, and another neat thing is you can actually create audience tools and allow people to ask questions. So if you turn that on, when you go back over here, if you made this full screen, this would show up when you're giving your presentation, and it allows people to type that in to their screen, and it will allow them to ask questions. Do you see? Oops. So you would submit the question, and that would come up, and as a presenter, I would see that slide here. So I could present the question to show my audience or anything along those lines. So that's one option while you're doing that. So let me go back here. So once you've gotten your new presentation, one of the things you're going to want to do is insert a picture. So it's pretty easy to insert a picture. You would simply press this icon here, which is image, and there are a lot of different ways you can insert. You can upload from your computer, you can search the web, insert with Drive, Photos, URL, or Camera. So if you search the web, this is going to be what comes up here, and you can search just Google Images that way. So maybe you want Abraham Lincoln, and you would take this and you can just drag it over. So there's a lot of different ways for that. That's kind of a simple thing that most of you probably already know how to do. So other media that you can insert is videos, word art, charts, diagrams, and animations. So we're going to start with videos. If you go to the Insert tab here, you would then press Video, and you could search to insert your video either by URL or if you have it in your Google Drive already. So maybe you want to insert an Abraham Lincoln video. It would search YouTube, but again, you can do it by URL. You would pick one of these to insert. You would select it, and it would pop up right here. Now, I'm going to take you on down to this next slide. There's a couple options that you have. If you right-click your video, you can right-click and you can get options with it. So you can say video options, and you can have it start at a specific time or end at a specific time. You can autoplay, mute the audio. So those are all different options if you've input a video. Now, if you do autoplay, let's say autoplay so you can see this. It's going to start playing the video as you get to that slide. So that could be an option if you want to have that as an option.
I have to admit.
The other thing that you can input in this is a chart. So notice when I click on my chart, there's a link button here. This would be, let's see, insert. You can insert chart this way. So I've inserted a chart and it has a link button here. I can unlink or I can open the source. So if I open the source, this is kind of a neat thing to do. I pretended to take a poll of people's favorite president. And so you would insert the information here and it created a chart, and you can just insert that into your Google Slides. The other neat thing you can do for your Google Slides is insert word art, which is what I've done right down here. And you would just type it in. Going to create it. You can change the color any way you want, change the outline. Again, you can right click and get format options. It's going to come down over here. You can do shadows on it, reflection, that sort of thing. So those are some of the options you have with that. And this is what it all looks like in present mode. I don't have it automatically playing, so that's what I'm doing here. Okay. So the other thing that we're doing today is inserting a GIF, random bit of information here. I looked up if you say GIF or GIF. Everyone says GIF, but apparently the person that created it wanted people to say GIF like the peanut butter, but everybody says GIF, so we'll say GIF. So you insert a GIF. So the way you do that is you would, again, go back to the image and say insert by URL. So when you have that, this is going to pop up. Now, in another tab, you will open the application Giphy, and there's other ways to do this, but this is just a pretty good website that has a bunch of different ones. And when you go to the website, there's going to be a link button here when you scroll over the image. So you can press the link and notice that it says link is copied to clipboard. So I'm going to come back over here, and if I insert by URL, then I can insert the URL and insert the GIF. Okay, if I don't want it anymore, I can just press the delete button and it's gone. And again, this is sort of what it looks like in the present modes. The Patriots are going to the Super Bowl, so that's why that is there. And again, this is the exact instructions on how you do that. So if you ever want to reference these slides in the future, maybe you forgot how to do it, you can just reference the slides. And again, it's the link button here. So the next thing that we're going to learn about today is how you link a text box, an image, or a shape. So this can be useful for, I've used it for creating review games, or if you have a Google Slides presentation that has a lot of, maybe it has a lot of slides and you want to give it a table of contents or something along those lines. So the first thing that you're going to do is you would click the edge of a text box or an image or a shape. So I'm just gonna, I'm going to insert a shape right here. I'll just insert a sun. Okay, so I've insert a shape here. So you'd click the edge of it. Notice if you double click, it's going to have the options to type in it. That's not really what you want to do. You want to just click the edge of it or one click it. So now we have the edge selected. And what you can do from here is you might have to say more options, which is this right here, or it could be on your toolbar. And you would press the link button. Okay. So you have a couple options from here. You can insert a link, like an actual link from a website, or you can link it to another slide in the presentation. So when you click that, you can link to a previous slide or a first slide, last slide. You can link to any slide in the presentation. And I could do first slide, apply, and then in my text I could say return to beginning. Okay, so you get the idea there. So then when I'm in present mode, I could click this and it would take me all the way back to the very first slide. So here, so again, this clicking that returns me all the way back to the beginning. Now, if I forgot which one I linked it to, again, if you just click on the edge, it's going to tell you what you linked it to, and I can remove that. And if I don't want it anymore, I can delete that. So just to review, you would click more in your toolbar, click the link button, and link an image, a shape, or a text box. You can do any of those things. So these are the steps. You're inserting the URL. It can also be a file from your drive or searching the web. Now, you don't have to do this with just the box itself. Maybe you have a file that you want to connect to something in your presentation. I could double click the actual word. I can link it, and I could find that I have an actual file, apply it. Then when I'm in present mode, if I clicked this, it would open it up. Okay, so it's a good way to organize things as well. Let's see, exit. So again, you can link within slides within this presentation. If you decide that you don't want that linked anymore, you can remove it. You can link documents, slides, websites, videos, all that kind of stuff is what you can link to those things. So the possibilities are kind of endless with that. So a few things you may want to consider doing right now is just brainstorming. This is a lot of information I threw at you. So how can you use these tools in your classroom? What can be useful for you? So for me, I'm going to give you a couple ways that I used them. Is you can create a review game. So I'll show you, I'll go back to present mode. You can, if you click my Jeopardy tab here, and you have access to this, I actually created a Jeopardy game that, or just a template that you're welcome to use. If you click the template, you don't have access to edit it, so you would just go to make a copy, and then you can have this for yourself. But for each tab, it's linked to a different slide. So like question 100 would be on slide 2. So I could insert the question here. So this is a Jeopardy game template that you're welcome to use. Just make a copy of it. So that's one of the uses I have for it. And I can just show you actually how that works. Hang on. If you go to present, again, if you click 200, it's going to take you to a 200 slide or question. And again, you may want to put an option on here like that says home or home screen or whatever. So you could click that and return to the original slides. So this is what that game looks like. Again, feel free to use the template if you want. The other thing you can do is you can create a choose your own adventure story. So here's a template that I just found on the internet that you're welcome to use if you want. This is an open source that people have allowed you to use. So create your own journey. Maybe you would have a math problem and they could cross the bridge and solve one problem, or I don't know, climb a ladder to solve another one. You can kind of get the idea there. And so it would choose your own story, or you could give this template to students and they could write their own book and write their own journey. So that's another one. And of course, organizing large files is another useful thing for linking. So there's tons and tons of different ways you can use it, just making your slides more interactive. I've seen people use this for their smart board. So when something's clicked, they actually use a soft, maybe dodgeball or something along those lines that they use to hit off or a foam ball to hit off the smart board. And that's a way to make it more interactive. There's a lot of different things you can do with this. So if you wouldn't mind, if you've used this or watched this video, if you would please fill out the form that is located here. If you're in present mode, you can just click the form and it'll take you to a form for feedback. That would be greatly appreciated. I would appreciate your feedback and any help or anything you could give me. And if you need more help, feel free to email me, or in the feedback you can give me your contact and I'd be happy to help you with anything that you need. So thanks for taking the time to listen to this, and good luck with creating all your slides interactive.